welcome back to the channel. Today's part 2 on the red 65 C10, cleaning it up. I'm going to go through and start taking off some of the stuff that kind of makes it look ugly. I'm going to take out the metal bed floor. They had some angle iron that I'm assuming was for a box bed. Just kind of go through and take off stuff that kind of makes it look ugly, clean it up, and go from there. So let's get into it. Looks like they welded the back of the looks like they welded the metal piece to the back of the back seal of the bed. So I'm just going to cut the welds. It's not all the way across. It looks like they did 1-inch welds, spacing them maybe about like every foot. So let's cut those. Bed rails or bed seals, bed wood. Original bed wood and seals are there. I don't want to cut them, gouge them or anything like that. It's pretty thick and pretty heavy, so I'd rather just cut it in pieces, take it out in pieces. But when I'm cutting through it, I don't want to gouge into the original wood. So I'll put this underneath it to lift it up. Get my gauge. I'm curious what that is. It's super heavy. All right, one piece down. I'd say 2 or 3 more pieces to go. Probably, I don't know. It's probably quarter inch sheet. That's pretty much overkill for that floor. But either way, the floor looks pretty nice. The corners are gone, but the center's all there. Hopefully it's like that all the way through. Especially for its age. It's pretty nice. On the Alright, so I'll take you off the tripod, show you what the bed looks like so far. So it looks pretty good. I'm going to grind down some of these areas. This is where the sheet metal plate was welded to the back sill. So I'm going to grind those down smooth. Right here is where that one side was welded to the bed. I'm grinding that down. This side is nice and smooth already. I still got to grind down this a little bit better. You can still see some of the welds here. I'm going to take a break on the bed right now. Start taking off some of the things like these mirrors. I do like West Coast mirrors. That's what this style is called, but this isn't really a true original West Coast mirror. See, this is like a repop. Has like all the different adjustments. If there's an original West Coast mirror, I'd probably keep it. I'm going to take these off. I'm going to take off the front bumper and replace it with the original front bumper, which I have in the back yard. And I'm going to take off this mirror. What else? I think that's it for today. Probably tomorrow I'm going to end up taking off this rear bumper. I want to put a chrome sport bumper on it. I think that'll look nice since this is a custom. It has all the custom side moldings. We put the chrome hubcaps on it with the chrome front and rear bumpers. I think it'll look really nice. So let's get started on taking off these mirrors. That looks better. I'm going to put an original mirror here. Get going on the front bumper. So on the backside, I am going to use new hardware. I do need nuts. I was just looking for them, so I'm going to go run the hardware store, get some nuts, and then tighten that up. But in my opinion, chrome bumper looks way better. And pretty much wrap it up for today. Between taking off that 1/4-inch plate in the bed and fighting with that front bumper, I think that's a good enough day for today. Other than that, I think truck's coming out pretty good. I'm gonna probably leave this truck pretty stock, just clean it up and everything. It's pretty much a nice unmolested truck. Again, I'm gonna show you guys how to take off all this primer and stuff like that and get it down to the red. I think it'd be a cool little work truck. So I'm not done with this episode. I'm just gonna call it a day for today, and then we'll keep plugging away at it and kind of just get it looking kind of original. It's not going to be restoration. We're just going to keep a nice patina like this, but just kind of get it original looking. The grill, I'm going to swap out the grill as well. I'd like to get a 64 through 66 aluminum grill. I've been looking online. I haven't been able to find one. If I can't find one, I have tons of 63 grills, so I'll probably toss in an aluminum 63 grill, which will look good, because like I said, I'm trying to make it a custom, meaning they'll have chrome bumpers, all the aluminum trim and stuff like that. But I'm still gonna, while we're filming this, I'm still looking out for a 64 to 66 aluminum grill, and I think that'll look perfect in there. So I'll call it a day. For you guys, it'll just be a few more minutes and the next segment will come up. All right, that's it. All right, welcome back to the show. It's the next day. Pardon me if I sound nasally today. My allergies have been off the hook. But the other day, like we did, we got the mirrors off the truck. We got the metal plate off the out of the bed. We removed a lot of things that we didn't need. I got a chance to dig through basically my scrap parts. I found a bunch of used mirrors, and I was able to piece together a mirror that fits perfect with this truck. So I got this. So I had this mirror on this arm, which is a 67 to 72 truck. And this mirror basically matches the roof of this color of the roof of this cab perfectly. So I had to take this mirror off of this arm, since this arm doesn't fit perfectly on this truck. Then I had this arm, but it had this rectangle mirror on it. So basically I took this mirror off of that and put this one on it, and I was able to come up with this perfect matching mirror. So, and it matches the overall color of the truck perfectly. So it goes to show, kind of keep any leftover mirrors, arms, or whatever that you have. I'll clean this up. It's got my greasy fingerprints on it right now. I'll clean this up. We'll get this on the truck. I was able to, we were able to take the other mirror off. The original holes for the driver's side mirror are present. One screw is actually still stuck in there, so I'm going to use Easy Out to take this screw out right now, and then we'll get that mirror bolted on.
Wasn't even that bad. Doesn't look rusty or anything. Just super stuck. I guess around the edge here. So not on the threads, basically at the top on the edge. Clean up the threads with the tab real quick before we bolt on the other mirror. So the other thing you could see, the other mirrors that were on here were black, and you could see that they probably touched them up while they were on the car. So I'm gonna go over that and get rid of that black before we put the new mirror on. I'm gonna go over it and clean it up with some lacquer thinner. Just basically anything you could buy off the shelf at Home Depot. On a patina truck like this, this is perfect. Don't go and try this on a new car. But with spray paint, it should take it right off. If it was regular paint with clear and hardener, it wouldn't come off as easy. But if you see right here, it's basically coming right off. If you see right here, I'm going to go over this area, and it's going to come right off. See? So I'll go through, clean up this whole area. I'll buff this area real quick before we put the mirror on. Just with my little small area buffer. It'll give us a nice preview of what the whole door would look like. There's a lot of overspray. It really just touched up those mirrors right here. Just who cares about tape back masking or taping anything? Just spray them right on the car. So this is something similar we're going to do to the fenders and hood. I used something different. Just by observing that, I'm pretty sure that's not anything mixed with hardener or sealer. So the full front end, all that gray primer is going to pretty much come off very similar, but we are going to have to use some elbow grease and manual labor like this to take it off. But we will be able to get down to nice red paint just like this. So I'm going to show you in another video, most likely it'll be the next video, how to get down to that. I've done it before on other C10s, and the finished product is really nice. There's a lot of guys that do it too, also in the VW community, mainly on buses. Because a lot of the older buses or single cabs, a lot of them are originally a dove blue color. Some guys like to get back to the original dove blue color, or sometimes they've been used in service industry, so they may have original service logos. So some guys like to strip down and try and uncover some of the original service logos. So it's a process, but it could be a rewarding process. See how much nicer that looks. That's the thing, a lot of people see this stuff and they're like, oh, you need to repaint. You don't really need to repaint. As long as you like a patina car and something to have some imperfections, you can get rid of stuff like this. This gray overspray, basically that's what it is. It's black overspray, and get down to a nice original red and white. Well, this isn't original, it's been repainted once, but many years ago. But it's old enough to be a nice old looking patina vehicle. You just need to know how to uncover those layers. All right, let me bring out my buffer. We'll buff this out real quick. I'm gonna open this door and just get these little areas. And push you guys back a little bit. Yeah, nice and clean. Let's see what it looks like here. Make sure there's no overspray. All right, so we're gonna go over the area with Meguiar's Mirror Glaze 2 fine cut cleaner. It's just whatever for now. If you want to go over and see some of my more detailed detailing videos, I have one with the F10 video, the 5 Series BMW, and then the W211 video, the E-Class Mercedes video, and I'll go on those. I go over all the different steps of detailing the vehicle. On this truck, we'll be doing a full detail on it, but this, I just want to detail this area just to kind of show you what the whole truck can look like. But this, I'm just going to be doing one step. This truck would need multiple levels to get it up to a full lasting shine. And also to condition and soften the paint. You don't want to just go at it real quick, but I want to put the mirror on, so I don't want to just put it on and not do nothing to it. So it's for two purposes: kind of get a sneak peek at what it can look like, and then just to go over this area so we could get the mirror on. and take you off the tripod, but from here you could already see it, but it's a night and day finish. Yeah, that's pretty amazing. I mean, you guys can see yourself, so that's before, after. And this is after, I mean, you guys just remember, just last episode we washed this thing and gave it a bath, and before how dirty it looked, and then now just with a very quick one coat of basically compound, no wax, no nothing over it, no cleaner before the compound or nothing, just very quickly what we got out of this truck. So I say overall this truck's a very good purchase, a nice auction purchase. Mirror, now the mirror's starting to look shabby. Overall, I was going for something that matched the same tone of white. I'm pretty sure I got it. If I need to, I could do the same thing I did with the wheels, which is scuff this up and clear coat it and bring more of a shine to the mirror. But I want it pretty much the same tone as white as the roof, plus the roof has some rust spots coming through, and that's what I got here. So I wanted something that matched, looked like it came with the truck, and I'm pretty sure I got that now. Let's go on to fixing and aligning the roof now. Let me just get some of the stuff off the, the hood now. Let me get some of the stuff off the hood now, and then I got the A-frame over the hood, if you noticed today. So we're gonna pop open that hood, replace that hood hinge. I think that's all it's gonna need, and then maybe some quick realignment. So let's get that going. Are you guys ready to pop open this hood? Let's do it. Looks like we need a knife. Let's see. Oh no, there's a ratchet strap on this side. Honestly, my first time opening it. See, I don't cheat, guys. I wait for you. Okay, yeah, that's your problem. So yeah, it just needs one hood hinge. This one looks good, coil's still good. So I use the A-frame to hold it up. We'll just unbolt that one, put the new one in, and that should be fine. Motor actually looks like it has everything on it. Let's get that going, and then we'll see if the motor's free, actually, if we still have time today. My ADD. I already want to check the engine. You get a 2x4, stick that underneath it. I built so many C10s, and honestly, this underside hood looks so nice and dry. But again, this one came out Nevada. Everything under here looks really nice and dry. still got the original bolts. So it's very unmolested. When I was swapping out the wheels, I noticed looks like it still had the original drums, because I don't know if you guys have ever noticed, but on the original C10 steel wheels, they have those little dimples between the lug nuts. Those are for rivets on to basically clearance for rivets on the original drums. These have the original rivets on the original drums. So, original or the springs. I'll show you a trick I use to pull them off. And again, this is where being heavy comes in handy. Pretty much as easy as that. So basically I use my weight to unhook it. Remember, every time the doctor says you're overweight, tell him, not necessarily, I need that weight. All right, make sure you're placing the right one with the right one. I'm gonna clean this one up real quick, and then we'll toss it on. So I'm gonna put you on pause while I clean this up, not bore you, and then we will toss it on. All right, with a little bit of cleaning and scrubbing, I got this, what looks to be a nice new hood hinge, but basically it's the same one I showed you. Looks really good. I'm gonna let it dry a little bit more. I touched up one area that I had it clamped and held by. Reason I'm also gonna let it dry a little bit more. I chased the threads where I was about to bolt it on. I was ready to go, and then I noticed the inner fender well was not bolted to the firewall. So hood hinge bolts to the inner fender well here and here, and then bolts to the hood, but the inner fender well is not bolted to the firewall, meaning that the hood hinge itself is gonna not stay steady, so that the hood, if I'm trying to align the hood itself is not gonna truly stay steady where I can align it with the top of the cowl when it's shut. It might go up, might go down a little bit with whatever play that has. So I brought my jack out. I'm gonna put this and let this dry for another minute or two while I jack up this front of the fender and try and get those two holes on the inner fender well to line up with the firewall, because right now I can't even see the holes where it bolts to. You can see the green paint versus the black paint. It's supposed to come up to there, and then I'll probably see if I can find those holes, put some bolts through it, lock it in, and then we'll bolt this on. So since I haven't had to use the A-frame the whole time, I'm just gonna move it back and move it out of our way. Try not to lose my arm or hand. It did slide up a little bit. Reposition this hood where it's gonna stay. know if you guys could see, but we're almost there. So take you off the podium so you can see. Pretty much got it one hole 100% lined up and the other one really close. But looks like they didn't bolt them because those holes look like they have studs in them. See, they're pretty full. So I'm gonna probably use my easy out or drill them and tap them so we can put studs in them and align this fender better. And then we can get the hood hinge on, what we originally started this project for. Notice there's quite a gap on the apron now, but there's also a patch missing now, this front apron. I was going to replace that, but it could be a reason that, well, with this hood all misaligned like that, to me it seemed like the front was sagging on this side a little bit, but I couldn't tell if it was the hood or not, but it definitely wasn't only the hood. But we'll be finally fixing this and the hood all at once and getting it aligned properly. So let me get started on extracting whatever's in those holes, getting the threads fixed, and getting some bolts in there. So let's get this on fast motion. It's starting to get dark, so I don't know if we'll get the hinge on today. If not, we'll get the hinge on tomorrow, and then get this hood closed, get it all lined, see where we go. I might I'm pretty sure I'm going to replace this radiator support. I found another red one on Marketplace which should match, since this one's cut out. And then oh, as I mentioned, if I can't find a 63 aluminum grill, I have a nice, if I can't find a 64 aluminum grill, I have a nice 63 aluminum grill for you guys, which I'll be putting on. This one just needs to be cleaned up. It's just dirty, but it'll look a lot better than this fake painted silver 63 aluminum grill. So like I said, we'll clean this thing up. This thing's gonna look really nice once we're done. so satisfying. Alright, so got that one in, kind of snug, just holding it. Now we could get that one out, get the other bolt and washer in, lock them both in, and then finally get the hood hinge on that we started the whole project with. So that'll be good. At least we killed two birds with one stone. All right, so let's finally get this hinge on. So this front bolt usually requires little to no adjustment. So we can pretty much tighten that thing. Now these top 2 bolts are going to slide your hood forward and back from the cowl. And then this back bolt is going to tilt your hood, the back of your hood up and down to align the hood when it closes. Sometimes it's too high when it closes. Sometimes it's too low when it closes, on basically when it lines up with the cowl. So we're going to snug it, but enough to where we could push on it and adjust it and then cinch it down. Also, the best way to adjust that one is a long, like 18-inch or 12-inch extension, so that you could creep it up a little bit, not fully open the hood, loosen it, tighten it, and then reclose the hood. So let's start playing with it. So I can see it sits down way too low, and it needs to come out. This side sits up too high. I can bring it down. So let's bring it out first. Or let's bring it. It's funny too, because when you bring it up, it brings it out. So let's bring it up first, because it swings forward. So let's bring it up first. And doing this on patina trucks is way easier than on painted trucks, because painted trucks, I don't know how people do them fully blown apart and then put them back together. I could understand fitting it before you paint it. All right, now my gap is perfect. I'm lining up with the cowl right now, or with this cab corner. The cowl's high, and the cowl's high against the cab corner. I could adjust this cowl down in this corner to meet the cab corner, which means it'd meet the hood perfect. If you notice, the hood actually latched this time. I'm gonna probably adjust this side down. My gap, like I said, is dead perfect. It's square. The reason the hood's not going up even is I didn't reconnect the hood hinge right now. I like adjusting it without the hood hinge on, because if you're adjusting I like adjusting the hood hinges without the spring on, because if you're pulling them back or forth with the hinge on, you're actually sometimes fighting that tension. So I put the hinge on last once everything's adjusted good. So I think it's pretty much dead on. I'll probably check in the morning when it's full light and then put that spring on. Other than that, I mean, that looks nice to me. Tomorrow we'll be back out here working on it again. I'll let you see it in the light. We'll adjust this down. There should just be a spacer on it. A lot of times they just use like fender washers or shims, and then that should be actually aligned with that, which is already aligned with this. Same thing like on this, we could gap this out to there, and that should line up perfect. The door lines up with the cab corner, nice. Fender lines up with it. So I'd say that's a big improvement. All right, see you guys tomorrow. All right, welcome back. It's day 3 on this segment, and this is going to be the final day. Yesterday we put the mirror on, the driver door. We got some polishing done, so you can see basically what the final paint work's going to look like on the truck. We got the hood hinge taken care of, and then while we were under there, we noticed the passenger side inner fender well wasn't attached to the firewall. We got that taken care of. We got the hood now on and functioning. I got the other hood spring basically put back on. I did the same method I showed you guys before, basically using a ratchet strap, hooked it on around the waist, pulled it. This time, last time I had pulled it from afar, leaned into it, and basically to the left to unhook it. This time, when you're putting it on, you have to be a lot closer to it because you have to be able to reach when it gets close with your hand and guide it into this slot right here. So you have to be really, really close to it. When you're taking it off, you could be far and just use your hip to kind of unhook it, or actually when you do pull back on it, it almost kind of unhooks itself, as you've seen. But when putting it on, slack-wise, when you're putting the ratchet strap around your waist, be really close to it, so when you are pulling back, you could still reach and push this spring into the slot. As far as the hood goes, I got it pretty much where I want it. I did end up taking off the front latch to get that final alignment going. It fits really good. I wouldn't say 100%. The truck does look like it's gotten, well, I mean, of course, this has been cut out. The inner fender well was detached from the firewall for a reason. So I'm assuming maybe it did get hit in the front end and stuff has been realigned. Also, sorry. Also a reason for the primer and stuff like that. So something may have happened in the front. But I got it pretty much lined up. When it does open, it's kissing back there a little bit. That's the only issue. Other than that, I'm gonna leave that. Only reason is because when it closes now, my gap up here, or my alignment up here, is dead on. When looking at it across, my gap from the hood to the seal is dead on. To the windows, or to the cowl, is dead straight. I'll put my latch back on. That's perfect. We're gonna align the cap corners, and those will be perfect. So I'm gonna just kind of either live with that, or The other thing I did notice, this cowl does have some play with it on this side, which it doesn't have on that side. So that may be a reason why this is kind of kissing. The other thing is this is aligned as far forward on this side, so I can't go any more forward. So this play right here might be an issue why it's kissing, and or any type of hit it took in the front. So again, visually, when everything's closed, it looks beautiful. The only downside is you're getting this little kiss right here, which is minor. So, especially for a patina truck. If it's a full show truck, what I would do is probably take off this cowl, see if you can tap this back. You can also shave off a little bit of metal on the back of this hood, and that would all happen prior to paint and body. You'd get all these panels to fit just right. But for a patina truck, you could live with this. So let's start working on aligning these cap corners. First, I want to basically put back on this latch. So this is another example of possibly something hit. I just noticed this right now. This is cracked right here, front radiator support, where the latch goes. So there's an actual crack here. Actually, this is cracked too. So the truck could have taken a hit, or it could have been the stress of that not being bolted up and all the weight being put on this of holding up this corner. So one of the two things was going on. But you also do have a dent, crumple here, dent. So a few things going on. But like I said, it's nothing huge. It's not like this thing took a huge hit, but just as thick as this metal is, to dent this, it does take a significant force, not like a newer vehicle. But all those things can cause just a little bit of kissing going on back there. So yeah, let's go on, put this latch on, and then start aligning these. So I'm not going to cinch these down. I'm going to put the hood down and let it align this center pin for me, and then I'm going to cinch it down. And hold back the latch so the latch doesn't push this, and just the upper hole actually pushes this. Alright, to me that's done. Then we can adjust this pin height. It's already loose anyways. Since it's loose, I'm going to pull it out and loosen the locking bolt. Been one of the nicest ones to ever pull out. Sometimes they can be a pain in the butt to pull out. We'll gently tighten it down. Sometimes if you tighten it down, it's hard to reopen the hood if you tighten it down too much, because basically it pulls the hood too far down, and the hood does need to go down a little bit when you're unlatching it to release. Actually looks good. Now let's lube everything up, hinges, latch, and see if it works any better. Start off with some silicone lubricant. I'll top it off with white lithium grease just to prevent any rusting on those hinge areas. It kind of just caps it and seals it. All right, again, just work it in. All right, I think that hood works pretty good now. So not bad. Basically, one hood hinge pretty much fixed the whole thing. Makes the truck look a lot better. Once we scrape off all this gray primer, make it match the red again, it's gonna look a lot greater. I'm gonna probably bring this up a hair. I noticed since we've been playing with it, it dropped down a little bit. So I'll do that right now. And that'll probably help it from kissing too. That side stayed perfect. Also working back and forth with the hinges, it could cause this to settle. So let me bring that up a hair. So let's get into this cap corner. This cap corner's low both in the front and the back, according to this cowl. So there's a bolt right here. You can put shims underneath it. Same thing as if it didn't match the hood profile. You could put shims in here to shim it out. Same thing if it didn't match the door profile. There's a bolt. You could put shims in to bring it out. And there's another bolt here where you could put shims in it to bring it out. So we're gonna loosen this bolt, try and shim it out. I'm gonna actually pull this whole one because I want to realign this this antenna and reuse this antenna. So we're gonna pull all the bolts and then put it back on. So let's get started with that. So you can see this original color of the truck, and then red is respray. I actually love this original color actually. It's like a teal green or whatever. So as you can see, there's play in all of these. So this one, I'm gonna bring up, make sure I line it up with the top of here. That's locked in. Now I'm still low here. I only have one shim. I'm gonna put another shim in. That should get me perfect. Get me a little WD-40. Now, before we get too far, just make sure this thing opens and closes. Take your time. And it does. Perfect. Nice. So we can lock in the bottom. Let me shut the hood. Make sure what this gap looks like. Because you can also cock it this way and that way too, to meet the hood, to meet the door. So it's got play in all different directions. Alright, so this looks nice. This looks good. I think it's fine as is. This door needs to come back a little. There's a big gap back here. It's tight here, so this doesn't need to go forward. It's perfect with the. I lined it up with the front of the cab, so it meets basically this point perfect. So we're good. So I'm gonna just basically lock in the bottom. Right here, I put another shim right here just to keep this profile right in line. So now you have pretty even profile. So now these two planes are 100% in line. These two planes are 100% in line. These two planes are really close. I wouldn't say 100% in line. In some areas they are, some areas they aren't. Gap over here is okay, not great. And then again, gap over here is okay, but this door does need to come back. And then fender is an issue. It's not connected at the bottom, so of course when I address that, then I could probably fix this gap. So let me lock in this one too. I'll probably put a spacer behind it to bring it out to match the hood. But I want to check the hood on the other side to see that it's not maybe the opposite way, because then you can also shift the hood left to right too. So let me check the other side. Oh, that is beautiful. Look at that gap. See, that's what you want to see. All right, you guys are able to see that, right? Perfect. I'll take you off the tripod too, give you a closer view. So now these two planes line up, these planes line up, these planes line up. All this lines up, this lines up. That's what you want to see. Basically, you keep going through everything, you get everything lined up perfect. Now or very close to it on a patina build. On an old truck like this, they were used as work trucks, so trust me, they are usually worked and beat up. I mean, that's the thing on these trucks. They were actually used for work trucks. It's not buying like a classic Cadillac or a classic Lincoln where they were garaged their whole lives. They were babied. These trucks were really beat. Nowadays, a lot of times people buy nice crew cab Silverados or Sierra Denali's, and they're basically nothing more than pavement queens. Back in the day, no, these trucks were actually used for what they were purchased for. So, you know, we go to restore these nowadays, and it's a pain in the butt to fit doors or to line up front ends, this and that, because these trucks, they actually earn their keep. But just with the little tips and tricks that I taught you on this video, you could get stuff to line up. The other thing is to, a lot of owners back then used their own hands. They showed pride in ownership, and they worked on their own stuff. So with what they had. So if something broke, or if they wrapped that thing around a pole, they actually fixed it themselves. But that being said, if they did body repair, a lot of these cars were shimmed in the pardon me, in the same manner that I'm showing you from the factory. As you're looking at this one, there's no body shims in it. Most of the shims got lost throughout the years. They pull off panels, shims fall on the floor, they put a new panel on. Nobody went to grab them, put them back, or even second you start loosening those bolts, they used basically shims, so they're used shims. And second you loosen those bolts, they just slide right out. And nobody's like, oh crap, dude, I don't know how many were in this bolt and that bolt and this bolt. That's why I use washers. A lot of times too, second bolts start vibrating loose on the road, they would slide out too. With washers, if a bolt starts to back out or get loose, it's not gonna fall out. The spacer still sits there. So that's the thing. A lot of those body shims got lost over the years. People either went back, tightened the bolt, or replaced the panel without the shim, and all the alignment of these panels are just cocked. So just with a lot of these tricks, you could get these panels to fit really nice from afar. As you can see, this corner looks good. I'm gonna go back and work that other corner. I'm gonna eyeball it. See if there's anything else I could do. Again, I gotta replace this panel. Then we're gonna strip the primer off the hood, fenders. But next video, I guarantee, we're gonna do a will it runs on this. I gave you a sneak peek under the hood, or did I? Let's get you off the tripod. I'll give you a walk around, show you what we did. Give you a walk around, show you what we did today, and give you a better view of under the hood. So there's a closer up of everything fitting and lining up. Like I said, I mean, it looks really good. Compared to what we started with, everything fits and lines up really well. You guys heard the hood open and close. Closes, in my opinion, really great. This side needs a little bit more adjustment. The hood is proud right here, but again, I'm going to shim this up. Again, the hood is proud here, so again, that means it needs probably about 2 shims right here to bring this out. And let's get you a sneak peek under the hood so you see what we will be dealing with next episode. And I wasn't lying to you guys. Just last night or yesterday, was the first time I've seen underneath this hood, and it actually looks really good. I don't see why this engine wouldn't run unless it's seized or locked up. Doesn't look like anything major is really missing from it. So again, if you haven't done so before, please like and subscribe down below. And definitely 100% please tune in for our next episode of Will This Run? Alright guys, I'm signing out. You put up with me with my nasally voice, pardon my allergies and congestion all throughout this video, but it's been fun working with you guys today and yesterday. Hope you guys enjoyed the build so far, and please stay along for the ride. See ya.